The broadcast journalism class gives students these skill sets to be a multimedia journalist, and that means shooting, writing, and editing. And these are skills that employers are looking for, whether you want to be a sports reporter, a news reporter, or a meteorologist, because students coming out of college looking to break into the news industry are going to be asked to do a little bit of everything. What works great in weather and in sports is context. If I were to say to you, Bob Skiba scored 10 points tonight, right? For Heatley, for the basketball team, he scored 10 points. All right, what does that mean? If he averages 0.3 points per game, this was the best game of his life. If he averages 30 points a game, then it wasn't. So just to say 10, so my point is when you say 25 degrees, all right, I know what 25 feels like, but if you can put that into context for me, it's going to be much cooler than it typically is this time of year. What one-man band means is you're asking a reporter to be involved in all parts of the process. From the shooting to the editing to the writing, and then their performance, whether they're out in the field reporting in a live shot or whether they're in the studio anchoring. And we teach that at the news school by giving them the skills they need to be able to put a story together themselves from beginning to end. So they'll go out with a camera, they'll come back and bring that media into the classroom, and they'll edit their own story, and then they'll come into the studio and they'll actually broadcast what they put together. What an interesting person. Look at how she's dressed. Listen to what she's saying. She goes to Michigan to compete in outhouse races. She has an entire theme of this outhouse created around the fact that her mom gave her toilet paper for Christmas. This is an interesting human being. So focus on that, because that's going to keep people's attention. So everything you said works for me. I would just shorter sentences and sell it. There are a lot of moving parts that go into a live production of a newscast, and students in the broadcast journalism program are given the opportunity to themselves be a part of every part of that process, which means they are the producers, and they're the directors, and they're the reporters, and they're the anchors. They do weather, they do news, they do sports, and they'll get an opportunity to rotate through those assignments and do a little bit of everything so that when they leave the news school and they get themselves into an internship or that first job, they can hit the ground running and they already have the skills they need to succeed.
We do have a crew on its way, but have already heard eyewitness accounts of a tornado that has crossed Route 5. Meanwhile, tornado watches have been issued for Saratoga, Schenectady, and Albany counties. This does mean that tornadic conditions do exist. However, the only known tornado was spotted just 5 minutes ago west of Amsterdam. We'll return to the scheduled programming now in progress.
Every student is required as part of the program to complete a 90-hour internship, and it's incumbent upon the school to make sure that we match a student with an internship that fits what they're looking to do, whether that's at a local TV station, whether they want to do sports, whether they want to do news or weather. And when they're in that internship, the hope is that they put themselves in a position where they can be doing what it is they ultimately are hoping to find a job at. And from that internship, they can help build their demo reel and put themselves in a position where they can find that first job.
I'm meteorologist Nick Johnston here on Cold River Road outside of Rutland, Vermont. Behind me you can see this is one of the houses that has been evacuated.
We'll see those temperatures really take a nosedive on Thursday. That's when we'll see a punch of cold air dig down from Canada.
So any precipitation behind this on Tuesday will most likely be in the form of snow because
Attending the new school gave me all the tools that I needed to enter this business. I had already had the books and things like that through college, but here coming to the new school really gave me that hands-on experience that I needed to be able to go out and then do my job. So I wouldn't be where I am today without coming here. It really allows you to get a feel for the industry. The industry is very fast-paced. That's how it is. Not only was it a learning experience, but it was a lot of fun. And I think part of the reason why I know this is the right business for me is because I don't ever feel like I'm working. Yes, it's a lot of work, but it doesn't feel like work. The demo reel is crucial. It is what puts your face out there. It allows the news director to see what they're going to be working with, who they're going to be hiring, what you look like on camera, what your stories sound like, how your writing is. It really, really is crucial and beneficial to getting your foot in the door somewhere. I got my internship at News 10, and then I got hired there. I left there and I went to WKTV in Utica. I left there and I worked at Wink News in Fort Myers, Florida, and then I moved back here and I'm now at News Channel 13.
One of the things that I think is changing in the industry is that they want everyone to be very versatile and not just have one skill set, have multiple skill sets. My first job actually did require me to be a reporter for at least half of the week. So I was able to do that, and it wasn't something new or weird for me, and I actually became very good at it because I had so much practice already. The new school really is the place to go to really get that hands-on experience and to get comfortable in front of a green wall and to get comfortable out in the field doing more than just weather, because that's really very important to have those multiple skill sets. You really have to be versatile, and you have to be willing to learn new things too. And the more you already know, kind of gives you that edge. I think a lot of people at their first job are a little nervous about going up to random strangers and asking their opinion on something. But I had done that already for several months, and I was used to it. And basically it was just like I was at the new school, except now I'm actually getting paid for it.